Hello guys, this is the Hexagon Zero, and welcome back to another episode of Multiplayer Mondays. Alrighty then. Last time I went on, well actually let me introduce what I'm doing here. This is Gulf of Oman Conquest Large gameplay with a large amount of objectives there. Just excuse me as I vault over this barbed wire with absolutely no damage to myself. But anyway, this is a rather special episode as I will kind of go over some games that are coming out soon and or a little bit more in the future that I have got my eye on. Anyway, this gameplay right here is actually kind of old. It's about 4 days old, and that may not seem that old, but I've since then unlocked the angle glit for the M60 EO4 EO whatever. I don't know. It's the second assault LMG. So it's a lot easier to fire when tap firing now, which is how I fire this gun. But anyway, I've got the Prism 3.4 sight on it, along with what looks to be the laser sight. Yeah, laser sight, and probably the stubby grip at this point. And I don't think I have I might have a muzzle brake or a compensator on the end. I can't remember. Either way, this gameplay here is very It's nice talking gameplay. It's where you can listen to me, but you don't necessarily need to watch what's going on the screen. Whereas in the next episode of Multiplayer Mondays, whew, you're gonna want to watch that. Anyway, let's take a look on what I have codenamed Hex's Radar, per se. So the big gun, the $500 million game, Destiny, is coming out soon. Now, most of you who have very quick brains are thinking, hey, wait, Hex, you only play PC, you don't play console. Yes. And Destiny, if you don't already know, is only coming out for the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, or PS4. And it's not coming out for the PC, but the makers of it, Bungie, have said that we will be considering a PC version-based platform of it in the future. And I think that's actually a really good idea, because as they explained in a public release, that they are a company that were used to focus on only one platform, i.e. the Xbox 360 or the Xbox 360 for the Halo games. This is just me being stupid and not scoping in. And I was doing about 4-round bursts. I should have been doing 2-round bursts. Anyway, its planned release date is September 9th, 2014, which is just a little bit off from now, maybe about 2 or so months, and it's set to be in a completely massive multiplayer world. In other words, it's going to be huge, quite literally, because Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4 users are all going to be playing and battling and fighting on the same map. Just gonna let that sink in. Now, for those of you who are going, hey, wait a minute, the controllers are different, someone might have an unfair advantage over the other. I would argue that they wouldn't, considering that they're basically made up of the same 4 buttons and joysticks. But anyway, and so presumably, if there was a PC edition released, it would be on the same server network place. In which case, well, then you get the rather complicated problem. This is a lot of friends of mine are asking, well, why don't they do more cross-platform of Xbox and PS or PS? Huh? Why don't they do more cross-platform of PC and Xbox or PS3 or PS4 and PC? Well, PC players have keyboards, and we have mice, which are a lot more precise than your joysticks. I've seen one of my friends who's actually competed in a Call of Duty tournament. His accuracy is absolutely terrible, or at least to my standards it is, because I'm a PC player. To his standards, it's freaking amazing, but to me, he misses every single flip. So yeah, Destiny, it looks to be a cross between Borderlands and PlanetSide, with a little bit more complication, better graphics, and you know, I say better graphics only because I consider Borderlands to be a not very good graphically looking. It just doesn't work with my sight. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I can see the appeal of it. It's got a nice cartoon quality to it, but it still doesn't agree with my brain in terms of graphics. Anyway, so looking forward to that game. Interested to see how it turns out, and I'll definitely buy it on PC if that does come out. And no, I will not be getting an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, PS3, or PS4 just to buy this game, only because you guys requested it. Recently announced Battlefield Hardline. To be announced, but they have said it's supposed to be released in fall 2014. Now, this to me looks like, because of the success of Counter-Strike Go, or a whole bunch of other games like that, this is Battlefield's attempt to try and duplicate that. But they're doing it really quickly. And to me, that sounds almost like a recipe for disaster, but I'm guessing that since it was designed so quickly, it's basically going to be Battlefield 4 with upgraded graphics, slightly, better, hopefully a better launch, and better performance. So might learn something from the Battlefield 4 launch. And it's supposed to be a sort of cops versus robbers style of game, and then there's going to be multiple game modes, and I'm not going to bother to list them off. You can look up the Battlefield blog post on it. Yeah. Anyway, Batman Arkham Knight. Now, I've never actually played any of the Arkham games. I've never played Origins, never played the other ones before and or after. That's the only one I can remember. But Arkham Knight looks absolutely amazing. Number one, I didn't really want to get the other guys, because the other games in the series, because they weren't open world. They were direct approach. And I like open world games. I've been kind of spoiled by Far Cry 3. But I like more open world games now. At least games that give you a bit more freedom. And Batman Arkham Knight promises the whole of Gotham, which sounds incredible. And also you get the Batmobile. The first game since whatever ago that to actually get to use the Batmobile. And if you're wondering what's happening on screen right now, that's me waiting for the tank to roll up and try to run me over. But I've just got... That's C4, so I can commit suicide underneath it. But the tank doesn't roll up. And then I eventually die from said tank when I run at it. Damn gunners. Anyway, Arkham Knight, the new created villain, Arkham Knight, he isn't actually a... or she, for that matter, isn't a DC Comics villain. And, so they're creating a new villain for the purposes of this game, or at least the Scarecrow's going to be in it too, but, you know, Arkham Knight is the big... He looks robotic. I think he's going to be some sort of robotic, maybe hybrid of brain and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it looks awesome, and I'd be incredibly interested to play it. And then, that is also to be announced in 2014. I haven't found any other release date other than that. Anyway, what am I doing right now? I am missing horribly with the SMAW. Normally, my SMAW game is pretty good. I can peg things into the air, but lately it's just been terrible. I've been misjudging the distances a lot. I can get pretty close, but meh. Anyway, Sniper Elite 3, which is supposed to be released June 27th, 2014. And yes, that is coming up in like 25 days. So... I'm not gonna buy it day one. I'm not gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna let it come out for a week, maybe two, and then I'm gonna buy it. And I'm gonna try to convince Revolution to buy it. If you guys remember our Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army, we played through that together, and I kind of want to play through Sniper Elite 3 multiplayer with him and maybe 2 other people, because it's supposed to have a 4-player co-op mode. So that'll be nice. Get some more X-ray bullet cams in there. But then another game. Now, a lot of you do not know this. I've mentioned it maybe once or twice, but I really like racing games. And I haven't competed, but I have entered, competed in tournaments, but it's not really a full tournament. There's no prize at the end. It was just essentially a big thing put together by friends. And we played a whole bunch of racing games. And I really like racing games. The driving and stuff like that is really cool. So, the game I'm talking about is, of course, The Crew, going to be released by Ubisoft, and I've seen the trailer. It looks kind of cool. I'm a big fan of animation, and the way they put the car together was it had me giggling. Anyway, it's supposed to be released in Q3 of 2014, and if you guys see what the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 is, that's essentially the stock times of the year. It's not really stock, it's just the business times of the year. Like, Q1 ended at the beginning of May, I think, or maybe it was Q2 that ended at the end of May. I don't know. Q3 is supposed to be summer, early September, late September, early October. I think that's what it is. And Q4 is, of course, Christmas, and that essentially big buyer times of the year. I'm actually looking at a clipboard right now. I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the actual video, but I do have. Oh wow, I've got like 20 minutes left. I can slow down. I was going a little speedy here, expecting me to talk for a while, but what am I doing in here? I don't know. I'm doing something. I think I'm trying to take D back, but I kind of move up to G. I think. Oh well. Anyway, the crew, it's a open world, literally open world of the US. And it's supposed to be able to take, what is it? I can't remember if it was 4 or 7 hours to drive across the entire map, or maybe it was 93 minutes. I might be getting my times mixed up here. And so yeah, that looks incredibly cool. You get to partner together with people and drive around and do missions and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And upgrade your cars, and that just sounds like a lot of fun to me. Especially if I can get other people to buy it on PC and play it. And then of course, my most popular series, Far Cry 3, its sequel is coming out, Far Cry 4. November 18th, 2014 is the planned release date, although again, it's Ubisoft, so it could be November 31st, 2018. Anyway, so it's supposed to be set in the Himalayas, and if you didn't already know, there's a giant leak of the entire plot, storyline, and all the events that would happen inside of the game, and I didn't read it because I wanted to be a surprise. And I've heard people say, "Oh, it's supposed to be really sexist. We shouldn't do this." Not sexist, sorry, racist. Ugh, maybe sexist too. I don't know. So it's supposed to be set in the Himalayas, and you can apparently ride elephants. Was it elephants? I think it was elephants. Maybe it was elephants. It was probably elephants. Anyway, what I'm looking to see in this game is a... lost my train of thought. I want this game because, well actually, hold on. What I'm looking to see in this game is an improvement in the weapon system. Now, Far Cry 3 weapon system was good. I just wish it had a bit more customization and more weapons. More weapons. Big game, bigger weapons. Maybe a railgun. I don't know. So it's supposed to be somewhat akin to Far Cry 3, or at least that's what I'm guessing, just judging by the look of it. You know, vacation, the guy gets trapped. Of course, that's what all the Far Cry games are, except for Far Cry 2. That's a very dangerous game. Anyway, Far Cry 4, looking forward to it. November 18th, round about the same release date. Actually, no, it's a little earlier than Far Cry 3. And I will be playing that as well. Not sure if I want to pre-order it yet, but, you know. And then, Assassin's Creed Unity. The game that was announced a while back, and I've talked about it a lot. And it was supposed to be released in Q4 2014, which essentially means a little bit before Christmas. Essentially the standard Assassin's Creed release date. And there's been an Assassin's Creed game every year since like 2007. So it wasn't really a big surprise that this game was announced, but it was also a big surprise that instead of continually hopping forward, or kind of they hop backwards a little bit in Assassin's Creed 4, but they've decided to go with a different, instead of Italian, British, or American, they've gone with what appears to be French. It's supposed to be set in France, and so that'll be cool. Maybe during the Renaissance period. I don't know exactly the timeline, but it's supposed to be a new refreshment, and it will be curious to explain how they are all speaking English. Because I'm assuming they're not going to release the French-only edition. So those are the games that I've kind of listed on my list here that I am excited for. I really hope in Assassin's Creed Unity they keep the rope darts, because rope darts are the absolute bomb. But with 15 or so minutes left on the gameplay, why don't we switch over back to what is actually happening on screen, what you have either been listening to or watching this entire time. So, Gulf of Oman, very big map, and that dust storm is just a pain in the ass for if you're in an aircraft or, heck, trying a long-range bombardment with a tank. Anyway, this is my engineer class, and right now I've got the AK-5C equipped on it. Very good gun. I believe I've got the Prisma 3.4 sight on it, with a... oh god, I don't even know what's stuck on the end of it. Probably a compensator. It looks like a compensator. I know it's not a suppressor. It's just something. And I believe there's a stubby grip on there, and of course the laser sight, as you can evidently see. AK-5C, very accurate weapon. I love using this gun, especially in carrier assault, but since the release of carrier assault, the actual numbers on the servers, at least for in North American servers, has dwindled a little bit. And what I'm trying to do here, snipe the helicopter, I decide not to fire, actually. Instead just spot it, because, well, it can turn around and blow me right at this, blow me right off this building, which wouldn't be very good for the survivability of my little life here. So I'm looking at this guy, he's running along, but what's happening, if you look on the mini-map, there's guys everywhere. And I know if I start shooting, they're all going to run at me, and I'm just checking the building there just in case I get sniped in the back. I start shooting, they're all going to run at me, and I'm going to die. So I decided to wait it out, let them capture the point, then move on, presumably up to E or F up there. I believe F is up there. So I can then... Oh, actually, no, I'm guarding F right now. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, I'm waiting for them to leave this point, essentially, so I can take it out from underneath them, if need be. Resolution on a tiny little Windows Media Maker video is a little bit bad, so I can't read text that well. But there's this guy, and do I decide to take a couple pop shots? No, I don't. Good, because there's still a lot of people around. It would have been very stupid for me to wait this long and then die. So I'm waiting around, looking for something to happen. I think everybody's moved on, so I decide to... Hold on, do I? Ooh, this is 4 days ago. I can't even remember what I was doing. Now that was a dune buggy or whatever exploding, so... Yeah, so that guy starts running out, and then jump down here. I run over here. I was getting shot at there, and then I look to the right, and then I go back to look to the left, and I get killed by an M416. Listen here, people. When you're just being shot and you hide, just honestly a stupid decision to do, but I just did it, so I'm calling myself stupid. Anyway, if earlier in the footage I unlocked the M4, which is I like burst fire weapons. This is supposed to be a 2-round burst, but it's actually a 3-round burst. No, not a 2-round burst. It's supposed to be a 3-round burst. And it's very good. I like it, but I'm not using it. As you can see here, I've got my recon kit out with the M98B. And I have also decided that I don't give a rat's ass as to how many kills I've got with the M98B versus how many kills I've got with an LMG. So, before what I was doing is I was restricting my usage of, like the MG4 or the AWS, because, and I don't care, that bullet fired from my gun and hit him in the head. I've been restricting my usage of, those two weapons. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Ah, okay, that was weird. I think I middle-clicked on my mouse and it froze the screen. So I had been resisting or using other LMGs, and that means I unlocked a whole bunch of stuff for other LMGs, but I'm kind of... other LMGs don't work with me. Like the LSAT, I think it's the longest range LMG there is, but its damage just sucks, so I can't use it very well. PKP works pretty well for me, but it's an area control weapon, and it's not a running and gunning. The recoil on it is absolutely amazing, as in, like, incredibly high. So what I'm going to do is I'm just say, screw it, I don't care how many kills I got with the M98B, it was honestly a stupid restriction. Didn't serve any purpose whatsoever. I don't know why I fired a bullet there. Yeah. Anyway, Gulf of Mind, you really got to watch these two towers if you're on them or off of them, because snipers love to camp up on those towers. People also like to stand in the middle of the streets with absolutely no cover for some reason. Trust the M9. I'm really trying to... I really like the M9 pistol, and I'm trying to upgrade it, like, get more attachments for it. But so far, the going has been slow. I don't often use pistols. Mostly because I die before I get to wipe out my secondary. Yeah, and if you're wondering what build I've got on my M9AB here, this is the 8x sight with the rangefinder and flash hider. And yes, I know, I don't use the M98B for incredibly long range sniping, so why do I have the rangefinder on here? Well, it looks cool, and I'm able to judge distances better if I can see that number. If it's over 100, I tend to stop. I tend to go a little bit below, about halfway between the first dot and the center of the crosshairs. If it's like to 150, and then I start to estimate, and maybe I do a test shot before. Yeah. Only issue with the test shot is it alerts the target is probably going to be sniped. That was an almost good quick scope. I've been getting better with my quick scopes. PC quick scopes don't work that well. Because defaultly I aim for the lower torso pelvic region of the body. That's typically where my aim is at, which is honestly bad. It should be in the upper sections of the chest, like the neck area. But I find it easier to hit the upper pelvic, lower torso region than the full torso. So, but my quickscoping's been getting better. I've actually been able to hit targets now, so that's good. But anyway, Gulf of Oman is a gunship, which is a pain in the butt, especially when there's an enemy commander who is actively using it, and then it just rains cannon shells and rapid fire stuff down on your face, which isn't fun. And honestly, I'm sitting in this building and I'm waiting for something to happen, because I know that they're going to push up from over there and that objective eventually. They're just taking too damn long. And I probably should have moved up towards them, sticking to the rooftops. Maybe moving down to the rooftop to right behind me right now. But, no, evidently I didn't. Is that a chopper? Yeah, it's a chopper. So I'm staying away from that guy. And maybe why I'm not moving down to that building below, right there, that I'm looking at it right now, is because he's got no cover. And here I have, at the very least, rooftop cover. Like I've got a ledge above me. Nice little sniper's nest. Motion sensor and radio beacon. I don't know why I didn't start shooting at that sniper there. He was kind of plainly in view. Cause I know I saw the bullet move. Oh, right. I know what I'm doing. You've been hearing for the last about minute or so snipe sounds. And I'm actually looking for the sniper, because I know it's a long-range sniper, because they're very infrequent, and they kind of wait for me to sit still. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving around trying to find the sniper. I eventually do find the sniper. Or at least, I think he finds my head with a bullet. Yeah, I think that's what happens. Either way.
Live vehicle dropped and on its way. Stand by.
I don't know, I expected that games chat to talk a little, go on a little bit longer. I'm sure I missed a couple. I looked up IGN's top upcoming games. And then there's some games that have come out that I haven't bought yet, and I kind of want to buy. One of them being... what was it called? Oh, I don't remember. Ah, see, there he is. He's on the opposite. He's on that really far building. And he's probably got like an SR-61, whatever. And honestly, that M98B fire, oh yeah, way off. Bullet drop is way too high. Especially, I mean, you can use it at that distance. It's just, So I'm just kind of avoiding them now. And honestly, I should be moving out of this building, because the rest of the game is me sitting in this building. But that's how I play. I'm a camper. I'm a sniper camper. And that was me testing to see if we can fire through those metal girders, or whether the hitbox encompassed the entire space between the two. Reinforcements! Huh. Wow. Anyway, where is he? Looking for him, and then finally, I think guys start pushing up from F here. Finally making use of their direct access to E, essentially, but they make use of it in the form of a tank. And they equipped in Battlefield 4 the sniper class with the ability to use C4. But I killed that guy only to be shot by that guy with an FYJS, a 6x scope, and a bipod, though. So that was a pretty impressive shot, dude. I'll give you that. Especially from that. Maybe he had variable zoom. Either way. But they equipped the recon class with the capability to use C4, but I never really used C4 with the recon class. Simply because there's no way to replenish it. And I like, if I have got C4, I use a lot. I use an absolute ton. There's some Silk Road gameplay. Oh no, I didn't record that. Anyway, I've got my M4 out now with the PSO whatever site clipped on it. And since this footage, I've unlocked the ergo grip and the laser sight on it, and I'm trying to unlock the angle grip because it's a burst fire weapon. Obviously, an angle grip would benefit it greatly, but or maybe the folding stock. I think the angle grip you can unlock without getting it in a battle pack. But the M4, it needs to have better stuff. Cause like the lowest, like the amount of kills you have to get with the M4 to even get the first sight is like 30, and in most guns it's like 10. But then again, this is a higher level carbine, so I guess it kind of makes sense. That I don't like this sight, the PSO or whatever sight. It kind of reminds me of DayZ, but I don't play DayZ. I just watch Frankie's videos. But yeah, I don't like that sight. I'm trying to get a new one. I wish there was a 2 times or maybe a 2.5 times sight that wasn't an IR sight. That would be cool. I need to do that. Just a gun-wide update. Here's a 2.5 times sight. I don't know. I do not know how that guy survived that. He's right behind those boxes. I fire a bullet, rocket right in there, and he doesn't die. But eventually, I just go, screw this. He's a pain in my tushy. And he's moving around and stuff, and he should be dead. So I do this, parachute on top of these boxes. He starts shooting at me, but I kill him before he can do anything about it. But as I sit here, kind of waiting around, looking about, because I know there's a lot of guys on the ground. But anyway, the round ends there, so there's no point in continuing to fight. Anyway, Gulf of Man it's my favorite commander mode map, probably, just because you've got the gunship and you've got cruise missiles. I don't agree with how they designed the points, which is 4 specified to the US side and then 3 specified to the Russian side, but you know what, whatever. It's so big that it kind of makes up for the differences in distances. I love tanks. I really do. Tanks are good. Tanks are fun. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of special episode. In the beginning, we talked about games that I like, or have seen in the future, and also I've taken a look at Evolve, but I'm not really invested in it yet. But anyway, I would like to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, favorite, subscribe, comment, and all the good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. This is the Hexagon Zero, signing out.